No, it can't be true. It can't be right. It's a DEFCON 5.
The sub's in launch mode. We are at DEFCON 1. DEFCON 1.
PSA Silencing the critics and the complainers. Stick around.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. It's a doubleheader today, 2 card videos in one day, and why not? Done by another content creator, Ty from Benchclear Media, and it was about a little issue that he had with PSA. We'll dive into that. But if you're new here and you're looking for just about daily sports card collectible style videos, and you have come to the right place. Hit the red button down below, the subscribe button. We need you guys. We need your help to grow. Tell your friends. Tell 8 of them. Also connect with me on IG at SportsCardDad, and I'm also on the Twitter, the SportsCardDad. Before I do start, I am an SGC fanboy. SGC is a supporter of the channel. They are a partner of the channel, so I have to I'm putting my biases out there because I know the PSA fanboys are probably tearing ACL, like fell over to get to their keyboard to mash a bunch of obscenities at me, and that's fine. But hey, I'm coming out here. I'm telling you, I am biased. But guess what? We're all biased. We all have our own biases, whether it be grading companies, manufacturers, girlfriends, whatever. But regardless of whatever biases you might have, I feel like this is something that is worth talking about because it's worth improvement. And so go to Ty's video, Benchclear Media, check it out. I mean, take it in for yourself. Get it from the horse's mouth. It was a good video and just something that I was not aware of. I don't think a lot of people are, frankly. So let's get it fixed. I will post a link to Ty's video at Benchclear Media. I thought this was interesting. This came out maybe about 24 hours ago. I just got to it, but I'll be honest. First off, let me just say that the colors that they used on their thumbnail, amazing. I need to get their thumbnail guy to help me out because we're lacking a little bit over here, to say the least. But just wanted to shout out to the graphic designer, whoever is doing the thumbnails for Benchclear Media. Nice job. So Ty did kind of a part 1. I think this is a part 2 to it, but essentially had an issue with a lost card at PSA. This isn't the first time that I've heard this sort of thing before. I've had friends that have reached out to me, told me different stories. I've never really shared it because it's frankly not really my business to share. But now maybe I understand a little bit more of why folks aren't so eager to share. So Ty goes into kind of the back and forth of this exchange with PSA customer service. And look, I think here's the thing. The main reason why I'm making this video is really for feedback to help better this system that we're working in. Really, we've got 4 major grading companies. PSA is number 1 by far. They're grading about 1 million cards a month. And so anywhere where you can provide feedback that could be a benefit to customers out there, I think that's important feedback. And this is certainly important feedback that Ty had shared. So it's a back and forth. They lost his card or damaged his card, some issue with the card, with the Trey Lance card that he was working on over there. And, going back and forth on the dollar amounts. What would it have been? A PSA 9 value, a PSA 10. This is another thing that drives me absolutely crazy, is these kind of resale values. How are they getting comps for these sorts of things? Because a lot of these cards are fairly unique. You're trying to find kind of comparisons. And so when you have upcharging and things, it gets really hairy. But also, look, I understand the other side of that coin where PSA grading a card is adding secondary value to that card, whether we like to say that or not, but that is really the reality. PSA wants their piece of it. Yes, part of it is for insurance purposes, and the other part is a profit center, obviously. And so that's where this back and forth goes. And it's also kind of a weird line that dealers face when dealing with them, because on the one hand, there might be an issue that comes up. On the other hand, they're fueling a lot of their secondary sales. A PSA 10 might command a very high price on the secondary market. And so it is what it is. And Ty is not a new person to this. He's not a small fish. He hasn't, subbed 5 cards in his life. He's subbed probably hundreds, maybe thousands of cards to PSA and the other grading companies over years. So he's a customer. He's a longtime customer of PSA and other grading companies. And so that's why it was kind of surprising how it just kind of all went. But PSA did try to make it better, and they're kind of working through that part. But the piece that was the sticking point is language in that contract basically saying like, hey, don't say anything disparaging about this sort of incident. You can't say anything about this, basically, or you risk it being a breach of contract, the deal's off, etc. Side story, and I promise this won't be a long one. In 2019, I bought a 2018 Toyota Camry that had like 7,000 miles on it. This was the newest car I'd ever bought in my life. 7,000 miles. Drove it off the lot, feeling all good about myself. This is an almost brand new car. Well, it rained a couple times, and I noticed there was water building up, not in the back seat, but on the floorboard, kind of on the floor right here. And I took it into the dealership like, hey, something is off here. And they're like, oh, you know what? It's probably just kind of a seal's broken on the back window, whatever. They looked at it. You know what? We can't find anything wrong. Just try to keep your windows up and this and that. I'm like, oh, I didn't leave my windows down.
Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.
Just look at it.
Anyway, all right. Took it off the lot, came back again with the same issue. Hey, it rained again and there's water coming in, and they couldn't find the problem. It was the third time back to the dealership when they finally found the seal, the part that was broken on the Camry, and they went in and they took the seat out and noticed that there was mold growing underneath the seat. And so I was like, hey, Toyota, like, what's the deal? You sold me a lemon. They promptly got me a 2019 with 5 miles on it for the same price. It just basically same payment, everything, just kind of just did a swap for the car. So I basically got a brand new car for my troubles. And look, I think that hobby companies probably do try to do something in this regard to help and all that. But this isn't a very big hobby. There's not tons of companies. There's not lots of competitors in the space. And PSA being number one, it's kind of just like, hey, deal with it. Suck it up, basically what it is. And so let's see if we can maybe get some positive change going in this regard. All right, guys, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.